My name's Lucinda. Welcome to Loving Literature. Do you feel lost when your friends go on and on about the details of the movie you just saw? Or maybe you're in school and you dread going to English class because you have no idea what to say about the story you've just read. If either of those situations sound familiar, this video series could be for you. In this series, I'll give reading tips for textbooks and stories, their structure, elements, and genres, so that you'll have something to add to the discussions. If you love literature, I hope you'll join us too, because sharing ideas about the stories we love can be fun. Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Loving Literature. Last time I talked about character motivations and how their backgrounds influence the choices that they make, and then which in turn lead to the conflict. This time I'm going to talk about the different roles or types of characters that writers can use to flesh out their story. In any story, there are different levels of characters. On the top level, there are the hero or the heroine and the villain. And then there is a third character that I call the catalyst character. This character or characters is an ally, a friend, or sometimes the love interest of the main character. They can also be called the confidant, or if it's a play, the second lead. Now, using Harry Potter again as our example, the catalyst characters are Ron and Hermione. They support Harry, they pick up the pieces if things fall apart, and they set Harry straight when he's wrong. They also help Harry figure out ways to solve the central problem. So, in other words, they are great friends, and the three of them make a great team. Sometimes the catalyst character can get between the hero and the villain, or the villain can use this character against the hero or the heroine, like Snow does with Peeta in the Hunger Games series. Voldemort as the villain also has allies, like Beatrix Lestrange and the Malfoys. The relationship between Voldemort and Beatrix, however, is very different than the one between Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Voldemort thinks he's smarter than anyone else, and he needs to be in control of everything and everyone. He demands allegiance from his allies, but he would never call them friends. He uses them to do his bidding. Now let's take a look at some of the characters on the second level. One of the main ones is the mentor. Not all heroes need a mentor. In mysteries, for example, the main character will have a catalyst character or a friend or a sidekick, but the person solving the crime is smarter than everyone else. Sherlock Holmes is a great example of that. But Harry has Dumbledore as his main mentor, and I think that Sirius Black and Professor Lupin are also mentors to Harry. The thing about mentors is they almost always have to die so that the hero or the heroine can fulfill their destiny alone. Some other famous mentors are Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda from the Star Wars series, and Cinna and Haymitch from the Hunger Games series. Now the next character is the foil. This character is harder to define and sometimes hard to identify. They're very important because they give us a better idea of who the main character is. Some stories don't have such a character, but in the case of Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy is the foil. At least I think so. He is almost the opposite of Harry. He's arrogant where Harry's humble. He comes from a long line of pureblood witches and wizards, so he has a great knowledge of the wizarding world where Harry is ignorant of all of that. Also, Harry's mother is from a non-magical family, so he's half-blood. And Draco, because of his background, thinks that he's entitled to special consideration, where Harry has no such expectations. Now, sometimes the foil character is an annoying neighbor or a co-worker or a family member. So maybe Dudley is also a foil for Harry. Another very important character on the second level is the voice of the author. This character is the one that states the theme. In Harry Potter, there are more than one of these type of characters. Some of them are Luna Lovegood, Dumbledore, Lupin, Sirius, and even Harry, although very rarely is the theme stated by the main character. But if you remember, Harry does tell Voldemort that he's the weak one because he will never know friendship and love. And that is part of the theme of the Harry Potter series. The next type of character on the second level is the comic relief. And I think that Neville, Seamus, Luna, Hagrid, and even sometimes Ron are these types of characters. You need to have the comic relief characters, especially if you have had a situation that has been very serious and tense, because it gives the audience a chance to laugh and relieve the tension. On the bottom level are the rest of the lesser characters, and we call these utilitarian characters. Storytellers need to have them to flesh out their story, so they fulfill their functions, but we don't know much about them. They don't change, and so we call them static or flat characters. There are other types of characters, of course, but for now, that's enough information for you. Again, I hope that as you read your next story or go to see the next movie, you'll have fun and try to identify the different types of characters. Make a game out of it with your classmates and friends. Thanks for watching this episode of Loving Literature. My name is Lucinda. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.